All right, the U.S. Department of Labor has just smacked a local commercial bakery for some major safety violations.
So OSHA is claiming the company is exposing its workers to several unsafe conditions. 19 Data journalist Dan DeRose is here with the allegations and really the massive proposed penalties.
And that's really what caught our attention in this case. Not only is it a company being accused by the federal government of putting its employees in harm's way, but the massive amount of penalties, almost $400,000, are being proposed. Now, this all has a process it has to go through. This company is going to have a chance to combat these charges. The company, the baking, it's a major baking factory. They've got multiple locations. It's New Horizon Baking Company based in Norwalk. That's about a half hour, 45 minutes south of Sandusky. In this statement from OSHA, they say that there are 3 repeat violations, 9 serious violations, and then 1 what they call other than serious violation. Proposed penalty, $394,000. They say it's for things like exposure, chemical training for its employees, exposure to chemicals, what's being called a caught between. Think about big machines, factories, where an individual could be caught in some sort of machine, caught in a machine, or a pinch point of a machine, as they call it. And then there's also accusations of struck by hazards for its employees. I did reach out to New Horizons, of course, wanted to hear from them. Here's the statement we got. The safety of New Horizons Baking Company employees is our top priority. We are aware of the recent claim from OSHA of the presence of alleged workplace hazards in one of our plants. It goes on to say, we respectfully disagree with these allegations and intend to defend the company through the appropriate legal process. Again, a statement from the New Horizons Baking Company. We'll keep an eye on this. That is just a massive, massive proposed fine from OSHA for a company operating here in Northeast Ohio.
Now you're